Hi guys, it's Tuesday the 26th of January and today we're looking at the church as a worldwide community. This is the start of a new unit for us, a unit that's all about sharing in the life of Christ and being part of a church community. So the first thing you're going to do today, once you've seen this lesson, in fact even if you want to pause the lesson and have a go at this first, is fill out your unit marker, which is the top half of today's worksheet. We're going to have a look at your unit marker together. You do these a lot in school. It's the first time we've done one properly on Teams though. So you've got a number of questions here and it's just about what you already know, what your opinion is. So there's no right answer, there's no wrong answer, it's just your thoughts. So the first question here is, what do you already know about sharing in the life of Christ? Do you know something about how we share in the life of Christ? If you were going to tell another person, what would you say? If you feel like you don't know anything, that's okay too. Maybe just jot down some key words or some ideas. There's a list of vocabulary there to help you, some important words. They might jog some thoughts for you as well. I don't want to give you any of my answers because I want to see what you think. The second question is, what would you like to know more about the church? So for example, I would like to know more about the church in other parts of the world, but it could be absolutely anything. As part of the body of Christ, I can. So what can you do because you are part of the body of Christ? And finally, what question would you like to ask the Pope? So I'd love to give you some example answers. I'm itching to do it, but it's really important that we hear what your thoughts are before you've looked at anything else. If you'd like to pause the video now to go away and do those first few questions, that first half of the worksheet, you can do, or you can do it after you've watched the whole lesson. It's up to you. Okay, moving on now. So we're looking at the word community today, and I've got the dictionary definition here on the screen for you. I'm going to read it out. Community is a noun. It's the name of a person, place, object or thing. So in this case, it's the name of a collective. A community is a group of people living in the same place or who have a particular characteristic in common. So for example, Birmingham's Italian community. So all the people who live in Birmingham who are Italian, they are a community. They share something in common. It can also be defined as the condition of sharing or having certain attitudes and interests in common, which is a slightly more formal way of saying that you have the same interests, the same hobbies, the same pastimes or the same beliefs. So for example, religion gives us a community. So there is a Catholic community that we are a part of at our school because of the Catholic Church. You might be part of the Muslim community or the Jewish community because you share the same beliefs and attitudes. You could also be part of a less formal community, and we're going to look at that in a moment. So it's not just about these very important things like religion and where we come from. It can be as small as knitting or drawing or cartoons. But as long as you share an interest or an attitude with a group of people. We've got some synonyms here, so words that mean the same thing. And we've got group, company, clique, faction or bunch. And then we have antonyms, words that mean the opposite. I've taken these straight from Google, and these are segregation. So when you split people apart, disconnection, rivalry, hostility, animosity, and estrangement. All of the words here have got very negative contexts to them. So let's have a look. What communities are you a part of? And I'm going to give you some suggestions here, but you're going to have communities that I don't know about as well, and that's part of today's work, to look at what communities you belong to. So first and foremost, we all belong to our school community. We're all a part of the Corpus Christi community, whether that's you as a student or your parents, they're part of the parent community, I'm part of the teaching community, and all of us together are part of the Corpus Christi family. And I know Mrs. Taylor talks about our family quite a lot. We all look out for each other. We come and stay in the same place during the day here at school. And even when we're not at school, like at the moment, we're doing our remote learning, we share lots of interests and beliefs and attitudes. And that binds us together. We also have our church community. So this is a picture from inside Corpus Christi Church. Whenever we go to Mass, whenever we watch live streams of Mass, when we say our prayers, when we do our RE lessons, even those of us who aren't necessarily Catholic, we're all part of our church community. We know that Father Andrew, Father Vitalis, Father Biju, they all care about us, they want to look after us, much like in a family. And we know that we like to do things to care for them, like donating money towards the church or helping out, putting our displays up, sharing our beautiful voices in song when we go to Mass. We also have sports communities. So, for example, if you are part of a football club, if you're part of a dance team or gymnastics, if you go to swimming with some of your friends, I know lots of these communities are on hold at the moment because of COVID. We might not be able to go and join in with them. But those communities are still there, and there are still people for you to talk about who share those interests. We also have, more prominent than ever, gaming communities. I know lots of you at home are big fans of Roblox and Minecraft. I've heard about some more games in recent weeks like Among Us that we're all big fans of, and we can build communities around those, people who are safe for us to play with, although it's important we really remember our online safety rules when we do that online. We also have international communities. So, for example, you might be part of an English community or an Italian community or a Polish community because of where your parents are from, because of where you were brought up. So, for example, my family are largely Scottish. And even though we don't go and meet up with lots of Scottish people every Saturday, we're part of the Scottish community in Birmingham. And we're also, all of us, part of a global community. We talk a lot about how we are all children of God, we're all part of God's family, and how it's important we all look out for each other. There's lots of things that come into this. So, for example, we believe that all children should have rights, and we've looked a lot at the rights and articles in class together. There are charities like CAFOD and UNICEF that believe it's really important that we all have access to the same things like clean water. At the moment, there's a lot of push to get access to things like internet and technology so children like you can continue to learn from home. And as part of a global community, it's important we care about people not just here where we live in Birmingham, not even just people in England or the UK, but people all around the world, that we work together to take care of each other and to take care of our planet. But being part of a community means that we have roles and responsibilities. And we're going to look at some of the responsibilities you might have as part of a community, as part of those different communities we just spoke about. So, for example, in our school community, we all have lots of different roles and responsibilities. As your teacher, it's my responsibility to make sure that you receive your lessons. For example, it's now my responsibility to make sure I video these lessons, so I have this wonderful headset and camera. It's my responsibility to make sure that I've marked your work, that I look after you. It's your responsibility as part of the community to make sure that you are listening to these videos, that you are doing your work so that you can learn. It's Mrs. Taylor's responsibility to keep you all safe and to make sure that the school continues to run. It's Mr. Cotton's responsibility to make sure that the school is kept clean and safe for us, especially for the key worker children who are currently in, so we can all be safe. So there are lots of responsibilities that come with being part of a school community. As part of our church community, we have the responsibility to attend Mass, to give when we can to donations and charities that the church supports, and to listen to what Father Andrew, Father Vitalis and Father Biju tell us in Mass. When we look at our sports communities, we might have the responsibility of remembering the right kit, whether that's a football kit or a dance leotard or a swimming costume. You have the responsibility to play fairly and play by the rules. You might have the responsibility to train other people. Perhaps you're helping your football coach out with training some younger children. You often get more responsibilities the longer you're a part of a community. When we talk about online games and the gaming community, you have the responsibility to use kind words. It's very, very easy for cyberbullying to happen online, and it's your responsibility to not only not do it yourself, but to report it where you see it to an adult. It's your responsibility to stay safe online by only accepting friend requests and play requests from people that you know in real life, by telling your parents if something happens that you're not happy with. When we talk about our international community, and our global community as well, it's our responsibility to make sure that we are doing the right thing for our planet and our world, and that where we can, we are helping people all over the world, however that may be, whether that's part of the Father Hudson's appeal that we do every year, whether that's giving our money on our non-uniform days for the children that we support in St. Mary's in India. So there are lots of different responsibilities we might have, and all these people in these communities have responsibilities to us as well. Your job today is to first of all fill out that unit marker if you haven't already, but then fill out your community profile. I'm going to ask you to list for me the communities you're a part of. So these will definitely include things like school and church, but are you part of any sports communities? Do you like to play online games? Have you got a particular country or a particular international community that you're a part of? Maybe you're part of a different religious community as well. I would like you to list them and then to list your responsibilities as part of that community. So what is it important for you to do to make sure that community can work well together? If you feel stuck, come back to this video to hear it again. And if you're still feeling stuck, you can reach out and ask the teachers. I'm really interested to see what you produce this lesson. Please make sure you take care with your capital letters and your full stops. I'd like to see some really, really good written responses. Take care and we'll see you soon.